Striker, that's what I was going to ask you. Yeah. So just before we went live, rumors are rumoring at the moment. So Fabrizio Romano had said that Man United plan to sign a new striker in the next weeks as the main target. Now this Mbeumo deal is done. Outgoings will be key for the budget as Garnacho, Sancho, Rashford, Antony remain among the players set to leave. There have been some suggestions that Manchester United have Ollie Watkins on the list of potential incomings this summer, but also one name that keeps coming up over and over again is Nicholas Jackson. Now, when we've mentioned him in the past, I wonder when his name's come up before. So there's been a very cheesy American grin sometimes pops up on our screen.
The soft launch is the
KG, you said I soft last Saturday. You were watching my stream. I soft launched it at the end. I said, there's another name that's going to come and start being discussed here soon, and that's Nicholas Jackson. It's an interesting one, isn't it?
Here we are. But now we got to be careful, guys, because someone brought this to my attention, and it's serious. We do have AFCON at the end. We do have AFCON in December, and right now we're African Chester, because we've got Ahmad, Mbeumo, Onana, Mazraoui. If we go and collect Jackson, it's a lot.
Yes, there's AFCON, right? But we're not signing players for 1 year. We're signing players for 5.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you can't think too much about the choice.
I'm with you.
Right?
No, I'm with you. But then again, I feel like we've done well. I'm happy with the African representation in this team.
Yeah,
there's 2 players on the list that I'm liking. I'm getting excited about. Watkins joining back up with Mbeumo, would be cold.
Yeah.
Like now, again, you put Watkins in this team. I'm excited about that Arsenal game because you're talking about Cunha, Watkins, Mbeumo, Bruno trying to provide from deep. What?
Ahmad right wing back.
Yep. Yeah, Watkins. I mean, that's the 4. If you get Watkins in, you've signed the 4th highest goal scorer, the 5th highest goal scorer, and the 8th highest goal scorer in the Premier League. No other team right now has 2, except United, after signing Mbeumo, has 2 of the top 10 goal scorers from last season. You could have 3 if you go for Ollie Watkins. That would be quite a way to turn things around.
Is Mateta on our list, by the way?
Yeah, but it's been quiet. Like something on it is. It's not moving. You know what I mean? It's like it's not moved in a long time. I don't like to rule things out because
you didn't down the list, but you didn't do that with Jackson at all. You just you tried to make us understand what games Jackson might miss.
That's true.
I love if KG was like a television presenter with that. Is there any chance for this one? That's a no then. Okay.
No, that's all right.
It's a no. But I mean, the Jackson one, I'll be honest, I'm just not really on. I think that maybe I have been a bit harsh to him the last few days. Obviously he misses a lot of chances. He's offside a lot. And I feel like we as United fans have just lived that a lot the last couple of years with players that can't stay on side, whether it's Garnacho or Rashford or whoever, players missing chances, whether again, like Garnacho, Højlund, when he does. Remember last season, the whole thing about, but he doesn't get many chances. And towards the end of the season, he just couldn't even score them anyway, even if he was getting the chances. Jackson in that team, I don't know. I would prefer Watkins. I like this idea of having players. Obviously, I know Jackson's Premier League proven to an extent. He's had 2 seasons, but Watkins, he's had several good seasons. I think, like you were saying, KG, about the work rate off the ball. I really like from Ollie Watkins, and like you said, that's a front. If you had a front 3 that was Watkins, Cunha, and Mbeumo, you've got pressure off the ball. I think there you've got creativity, you've got goals. Like you said, you also then immediately, and we haven't even talked about this that much, of just actually now Ahmad, he's locked in to that right wing back spot. Mostly he's locked into that. And last season, we did notice that actually when he does play right wing back, he's playing better there. And when we struggle when Ruben plays 5 defenders instead of 3, and now that allows him to actually play 1 less defender. So I think that's positive. And it's amazing how quickly that can shift, because earlier, like a day ago, he will really doom and gloom.
Good.
Really
you are right. But that's how it's going to be like that. Like, we needed this signing to change the course of direction. You know, I was saying that we owe Liverpool a little bit of a thank you, because the domino that they set in motion has caused this. As soon as Liverpool went in for Alexander Isak, and it was a no, Liverpool said, "Hey, Newcastle, you got your eye on that Eintracht striker. We're gonna take him off you." And that literally like a Ekitike. And then Newcastle were like, "Oh snap, we've got no chance." So they was like, "Well, let's quickly go and get Wissa, because we missed out on everything. We missed out on Pedro. We missed out on all these players. We missed out on Mbeumo. We missed out on these guys. Let's quickly go get Wissa." Man United heard that, and we went from relaxed to very serious, like team meeting immediately. I think we would have let this one carry on. We could have played this game. I think he would have joined us late in the tour had they not been this Newcastle strong move for Wissa, because I don't believe Spurs were truly in for Wissa, like the way they made it sound. I think, again, that was Brentford negotiation games. And Man United were literally playing a game of chicken, who's going to blink first type stuff. And we lost it, really, as soon as that other deal, because they know the fans would not have accepted this. If the deal broke down for Mbeumo, you also have to look at your manager. You promised to back, and you have to explain this to your fans. So what are we going to do now? What's the next move? And then if you told me that the next move was Nicholas Jackson, there would have been a march. There would have been a march. If you told me right after that, there's no Mbeumo, but don't worry, guys, we sold Garnacho and Nicholas Jackson's the answer. Oh, it would have been red mist everywhere. And
it makes a difference if you're bringing him alongside. Now, I do want to say, KG, just so you know, it was not Wissa that drove them to make this bid. They actually put the bid in before the news on Wissa. The bid actually went in the evening prior.
I want to ask about, because you saw him with the crossing, I need to ask about Benjamin Sesko. And just like, we heard a lot of rumors yesterday, a lot of people talking Sesko, this, Sesko, that. Obviously, that would be a mad late deal if it was ever to bring in a player like that, because we have to sell everyone. But do we actually want to bring that guy in? Like, is that something that we're seriously looking at, or not? Not really.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it's coming from right now. It's coming more from on his angle. You know, he's got a failed move to Arsenal. That's not happening, as obviously they switched on their targets. They struggled to agree a deal, like talking 80 million plus. Again, and I just think we're talking about players that we don't really have the facilities for doing that right now. And I think that he would like to get a move, but at the same time, you know, why would we do it now? I guess I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, why would we go for him now, more expensive? If he was available on the cheap, he was Arsenal's first choice all summer. You know, they moved off of him. He certainly wasn't telling them, "Oh, I'm only choosing United." It's not like that kind of situation. You know, they moved off of him. A young player from a different league, a lot of money. I think that's the exact type of thing they kind of want to avoid taking a risk on this summer. And there's another factor in this, which is that, of course, we still need to sell. Like, we're going to get a striker, but we need to move some players out. And the biggest advantage we have in specifically the deals for Watkins and Nicholas Jackson is Garnacho.
Want them.
They're both clubs are interested. So there's a lot of angles here. You can say 50 million, both directions. You get good PSR space on either deal. You could involve a spicy little three-way here between all three of these clubs, because Aston Villa are also interested in Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah.
You might think the ideal scenario is you send Garnacho to Chelsea, Nicholas Jackson goes to Aston Villa, Ollie Watkins comes to United. That would be, for me, pretty decent play for everybody. You know, you get that a lot in American sports. These
a lot. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
NBA,
I'd like to see someone being creative with this, because
it's Jackson. We're getting Jackson.
But why not, though? There's a lot of ways this could go, you know, that could work. There's a lot of ways this could go. You think it's Jackson?
It's Jackson.
We just did the opposite, KG. He's when we could be to the Chelsea, Jackson to Villa, and then Watkins to us.
I watch James way more than I'm telling him that. Yeah. And just little. And the Sesko one, just wanted to get a vibe. forget about Sesko.
Not happening. Yeah,
similar
to the Mateta.
Throw Sesko away, throw Mateta away. There's two that's really interesting. Watkins and this Chelsea one that in Jackson, and it makes sense.
I think those are the two most likely and most. Yeah, I really do think that. Yeah,
and that makes sense because even when you look at it and you say to yourself, okay, they've wanted Garnacho for the longest time, and they do have space. Now, the other part of it is, I don't know how bad Aston Villa want Garnacho, but you think of what Asensio was doing. Garnacho, wide player that can give you some like attacking guile on the in the wide areas. Garnacho's a decent player that I think Aston Villa would appreciate. Now, how much are they going to appreciate? But then I do know that Watkins is a player that must want to leave because he got dropped for Rashford. He was out of favor, and that was interesting. So I don't know if he's he
had a little conflict with Unai.
Like I don't know if he's truly happy or if he's truly got over that side of things. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think I could see a situation. Like I said, Jackson's been linked to the Villa one because obviously Unai Emery gave him his debut at Villarreal, so there's a connection there. I could see a situation as well whereby Villa look at it as, look, we're trading in, Watkins, who's older, 29, for Jackson, who's younger, and Unai gets on with better. They might see that actually as, that's actually a good deal. We're happy with that. Watkins, he's not an academy player. They got him from Brentford, so they don't stand to get, pure profit or anything like that. So I think they might be happy with that. And then Watkins, he gets his kind of big move, doesn't he? He was linked to Arsenal for a couple of seasons. We were linked to him a few seasons back. I think it was before he signed a new deal with them. So I could see that situation. But it's funny you mentioned it earlier on, KG, where then it becomes this sort of weird game of everyone waits for that domino to fall, and the moment one falls, and everything then starts to happen very, very quickly. And it'll be interesting to see how Manchester United do initiate this time around, because the Cunha one, everyone knew we were getting Mateus Cunha for weeks. Before the end of the season, it's like as soon as the season ends, we're going to get Cunha. The Mbumo one, that was a couple of links. David Ornstein, then he only wants to come to Man United, and you're like, well, eventually this is going to happen. It happened, and then now we're getting sort of as KG put it, the soft launches on a couple of going, Jackson, Watkins. It's going to be really interesting to see when the Ornstein article comes out to say it's him, it's this guy.
I think it's going to be the plane ride. I think it's the plane's going to shake up a lot of these players.